Thank you, Elder Swain and Grandmother Swain, for those opening words, that prayer, that blessing. And thank you to your ancestors for welcoming my ancestors to this land 2 centuries ago. Thank you. Miigwech. Good morning, bonjour, Tanzé. Je tiens à profiter de l'occasion pour reconnaître que nous sommes sur le territoire du traité numéro 1 et sur la terre ancestrale de people Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe, Dakota, Adene, and de la Nation Métis. In English, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge that I'm speaking from Winnipeg on Treaty 1 territory and the homeland of the Métis Nation. I also wish to acknowledge that Manitoba is located on the original lands of the Ojibwe Cree, Dakota, Dene, Métis, and Inuit peoples. Our government respects the treaties that were made on these territories and are committed to working in partnership with First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people in the spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. Recent street census counts tell us that there has been a significant increase in people experiencing absolute homelessness in our province and in our city of Winnipeg. This means we can expect more people will be sleeping outdoors this winter, which can be immediate health and safety risk for them all. We have heard from many people in the homeless serving sector who have told us that there was a need for a low barrier, Indigenous-led support for people needing respite from the cold. To date, there has been a great deal of work between government, the nonprofit sector, and the private sector to addressing homelessness. We have come together around shared priorities in the homelessness sector. Between April of 2020 and September of 2021, my Department of Families provided $6.4 million to support existing shelters with their COVID response. This includes establishing alternate isolation accommodations, additional shelter spaces, and daytime services. This also includes funding and in-kind contributions of 20 Manitoba housing units to the Resource Assistance for Youth, otherwise known as RAY, in recognition of the impact of COVID-19 on youth who are experiencing homelessness or who are precariously housed. In May, our government established a province-wide rent bank and started accepting applications for the very first time. With this $5.6 million investment, the rent bank is available to make no-interest loans to people who are facing eviction as a result of rent or utility arrears. This is an essential resource for the 228 people who have already accessed support from the rent bank for an average of about $1,800. This means that we have prevented about 228 people thus far through the rent bank from experiencing homelessness, keeping them in their homes where they belong. I would like to acknowledge that this was the first provincial investment in homelessness prevention. And today, we are here to make another great announcement about a key partnership program that we have been working on. And to that end, I would like to welcome my friend and our Premier, the Honourable Heather Stefanson, to the podium.
Thank you very much, Minister Squires, and good morning, everyone. Just delighted to be here with all of you on this brisk Manitoba morning. Wonderful. Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Squires. This is a critical time in our province's history to listen, to heal, and to bring Manitobans together, to build a healthier, stronger future for all Manitobans, especially those most in need. It is an honor for me to be here today, joined by so many of our community leaders. Thank you to all of you for being here with us today. The COVID-19 pandemic has been and continues to be the most significant challenge of our time. It has affected the lives and livelihood of many and all Manitobans, especially those most vulnerable in our society. For many of us, the snow and colder weather we're experiencing is simply an inconvenience, but for many Manitobans, the snow and colder weather presents a far more serious threat. We have recognized that there is a need for more low-barrier, Indigenous-led supports for citizens experiencing homelessness or housing instability. We have heard from you, and we are taking action. Today, I'm so pleased to be here to announce that our government is investing $1.5 million to aid in the creation of up to 150 new warming spaces to meet increasing needs. End Homelessness Winnipeg will lead a coalition of Indigenous organizations to ensure there are additional warming spaces for people experiencing homelessness in Winnipeg this winter. While work continues on the interior space, we are pleased to share that several community organizations working under the name Sabe Peace Walkers will open a community care camp today to help those in need. Two teepees and supervised fires will serve as an outdoor warming space operating 24/7 throughout the winter months, and work is expected to be completed in the interior space by December 1st. This space has been named Nadinawemak, an Ojibwe term translated as our relatives. As we gather in this space, the name Nadinawemak will serve as an important reminder of our shared responsibility to protect relatives from harm. I want to thank End Homelessness Winnipeg, the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs, Aboriginal Health and Wellness, the Downtown Community Safety Partnership, the Sabe Peace Walkers, the City of Winnipeg, and the many other partners working to provide safe spaces for people most in need. Thank you all of you, for your efforts. We are pleased to support this to help the most vulnerable people in our society. Thank you so much for allowing me the honor to be here with all of you today. Thank you, Rochelle.
Thank you, Premier, for that great announcement. And I think it's something that we can all agree here, that getting people into warm places is essential especially on days like this. And we know that homelessness affects Indigenous people more than any other population, and that we have to work together and collaborate to ending homelessness amongst all Manitobans, and in particular Indigenous people throughout the province. And to tell us more about the importance of this initiative, I'd like to welcome to the podium our friend Grand Chief Arlen Dumas.
Tan siniwagu maganak tuti mag mididi tini tayo pating nista pisis ka pipigis ko yan nas kumao kitia tisagi paski tino magamamo ya. I bring greetings on behalf of the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs. I want to acknowledge the elder for the prayer to open up. I truly appreciate the comments of our Minister Squires, and I also want to personally acknowledge the Premier for the efforts, for her statements and her words. As she knows, I'm an individual who will make sure we all honor our words. I believe that the Premier has made many efforts to come and be accessible. She's joined our meetings, our assemblies. She's made herself available, and I believe that coming to this announcement is a testament to that commitment. And I look forward to continuing that work, Premier. I truly appreciate that. In 2019, the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs, at the direction of our leadership, was asked to take a look at homelessness, as we're well aware of the magnitude and the problem that it has with our members wherever they reside, whether it be on reserve or off reserve. We had partnered with Winnipeg Homelessness, and we actually embarked on many engagements and facilitating different conversations on how to approach the issue, to do an informed and objective analysis on what it means to be houseless and the different variations of it. You know, there are people who without a home, but there are also unfortunately people who couch surf. There are people who are put in many unfortunate circumstances, and our leadership with our willing partners look for solutions, and I believe that this facility is one of those solutions, and I want to acknowledge everyone that was involved in it. It takes everyone's combined effort to bring forward tangible solutions. And because of the good work that we've done with our allies and with the people that we've been working with, you know, I'm be more than eager to present many more of these solutions to our Premier and her team, as well as all of the other willing partners that we have in order to find the successes that we need, so that everyone can be comfortable, that we can look out for everyone in need. Shutting off the heat in bus shelters is not one of those strategies. Making places uncomfortable for people who are literally in a bad situation is not acceptable. We have to find innovative ways. Some of the work that we had done had actually identified many of the things that we've known. We know that there is systemic racism, that there is institutional racism, there's institutional bias. However, today is an example of how we can actually find innovative ways to move forward and to look after people so we can provide shelter and warmth for many people. And I want to acknowledge all those people on the ground, some of you that I see in the audience today, for your tireless efforts, your personal sacrifice to try and look out for one another, to bring forward different resources to help everybody, because this is actually how it's done. We all need to work together to look after one another. And I believe that this is one example. This facility, in Cree we pronounce it a little bit different, our relatives, and because we are all related in different ways, and we're all relatives, and we all have to look out for one another. So again, and I look forward to achieving more successes like this with willing partners and good allies. Thank you.
Ekosani Grand Chief, thank you for your collaboration and your friendship. And now I would like to invite to the podium the CEO of End Homelessness Winnipeg, Jason Whitford, for a few words.
Bonjour, Anin. Gabi Dedang Dijnakama Kwadudam. I know my English name is Jason Whitford. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of End Homelessness Winnipeg. I want to thank Elder Swain for the prayer this morning, and Grandmother Karen Swain. That is very, very important and critical to our work here. It was about 10 days ago when the Spirit came alive at this location, and this resource was given an identity and a spirit, and it's our role, all of us here, to protect that spirit and to fan that spirit. I was sharing that teaching at City Council earlier this week in regards to the importance of adhering to spirit and the indigenous ways. There's a lot of strong elements that are brought in, and it's more than a name. Ndenewe Maka, my relatives. We're taking the energy and the sacrifices of our past, and we're bringing it and we're honoring it. I want to thank the men and women for constructing the beautiful teepees. That's a symbol of welcoming, and that offers the indigenous sense, the warming, the welcoming environment that will be alive in this place. I think that's what our community has been missing. So I want to appreciate that, and the tobacco that was passed this morning. This initiative came as a result of need. A lot more work needs to be done in this area. There's a lot of innovative work that we can create, but we need to work together with different partners and bring the resources together so that our people can live good lives, which was said in the prayer this morning. Mino pematiziwin. That is to lead the good life. And that is very common in many of our mandates of our Indigenous organizations. I want to acknowledge and thank the many partners that we've worked with to this point. The province of Manitoba, the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs, True North, Downtown Community Safety Partnership, the Aboriginal Health and Wellness, Sabe Walkers, and many others. These are the first partners that are going to work together as a family and nurturing this resource and delivering services and working together in unity. And other resources will come. We're very open to having other resources join us in this work. So that will happen. And currently, our time frame is today to have a warming space here for coffee, to hot chocolates, to share stories, to sit by a fire and have warmth. I really want to appreciate and acknowledge the work of those involved in the community care camp. Riley Nipinak in particular led this on his own, and a spirit was born there, and we've approached Riley early on to come and join together with Community 204 and OPK to have that aspect here. And that resource will operate 24/7 as was indicated. That's accurate. And our goal is to open these doors to provide a daytime and evening warming space for those that need that space, coffee, hot chocolate, a meal, but access to the resources and supports that they might need to address some of the issues in their lives, to connect with family, to rest, to access health services, or to even to get back to their First Nations, or even to access their family. One item that stands out to me in the End Homelessness Winnipeg census a couple of years ago was that 50% of the people on the streets today have had involvement with child welfare. So that's a sad state that we need to continue to work towards. I myself, one thing that I can share about myself is I'm from Sandy Bay Ojibwe First Nation. I'm born and raised in Winnipeg. I've worked at the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs for close to 20 years. My combined experience with First Nation organizations, both on and in the city, is close to 27 years. I started my career when I was 10 years old. Just thought I'd throw that out there. But I'm really glad to see the work here and the commitment of parties, not only the Indigenous, the government, but the public, the very, very caring and compassionate individuals that are generous and caring of these causes, and it's all of our responsibility to work on that. I want to acknowledge the work of PCL Construction here as a general contractor, and they're very amazing to work with. So I appreciate yourself and the trades that you've brought here. So Chimigwich. I just wanted to share that this will be the name Nidenewemak, my relatives, and the identity, the word, and the design. And this design here is the teepee, which represents the traditional home of many Indigenous nations across North America. It represents the turtle, which is the teaching of truth. And we're going to uncover truths to many of the individuals that are experiencing homelessness here and what they need. And the sun representing warmth. The grandmother's son, our teachings and our history. Jimmy Witch again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jason. And I can share with you that the province greatly appreciates your passion and enthusiasm for helping us work together and collaborate at ending homelessness in our province. And so thank you for everything that you do. In conclusion, I just want to say a special thanks to all of you who have come out on this cold morning to be with us for this wonderful announcement. I do want to thank my friend Minister Kathy Cox, Minister of Sport, Culture, Heritage, and responsible for Status of Women. Thank you for being here and for everything that you do. I also see some green toques, and I want to give a shout out to our friends at the Downtown Community Safety Partnership for everything that you do in making sure that Winnipeggers are safe in the downtown area, and to lend a hand when you see someone who needs help. And I also want to congratulate and thank the walkers who are here today for all the work that you do in keeping Winnipeggers safe and for lending a hand to those in need. Thank you for everything you do. Merci. That concludes the official program. I believe we are going to gather for a photograph, and then there will be an opportunity for questions if anyone has any of them.